Hey guys, Tait here from Fork in the Road once again, your channel for transformation. If you're looking to shift yourself, this is the channel for you. Today, we're talking about that book again, Steve Andreas, Transforming Yourself. Got it right down here. There it is, Transforming Yourself by Steve Andreas. And we're going through chapter 9, and what is that chapter? Building a new quality in your self-concept, in your identity, in shifting yourself forward. And it might be a quality you need for your next goal, and you know you don't have it. Maybe it's being conscientious. Maybe it's being driven. Maybe it's being, I don't know, pick a word. Maybe it's being organized or disciplined, or there might be other words that come to mind. Or maybe there's something that fits more appropriately for you. Whatever it is, it's about exploring that internal world, and if you don't have that piece, you can build it. But the first thing you have to do when you're trying to build this quality is you have to check in, is there an objection internally, right? So if you're trying to build a quality of being driven, but there's an internal objection because maybe your father was driven and you never got the love you needed from him, or maybe, I don't know, your dad was super organized and so anal that he would yell at you, or your mum would, or someone when you're a child. And so there's this thing of not getting love, right? There'll be something holding you back. You've got to check in with that. But if the person doesn't have any real kind of negative database of memories based on the word driven, then driven might be fine. But other people might have, no, big resistance. So you've really got to check in on the words of the quality you want to add into your world as to part of who you are. Because if you have a negative already built, it's going to win the day straight away. And so you have to do a different process to this. But if you have kind of, I just don't have any kind of conscious knowing of that. It's just a nothing about being driven or organized or whatever it might be for you. What we're going to do now is we're going to read some words out. And this is an activity inside the book. Really useful little exercise. Let's go through it. All we're going to do is assemble memories eventually on a quality you want, but first we've got to find a quality that's useful to you and what your next things in life are. So let's have a look. Here are some words. I'm going to read them out, and I want you to check inside and see how it feels. See if there's anything that fires up, that there's any kind of resistance, or you're like saying, yes, amen, that is me, 100%, or that is not me, 100%, or I've got really no kind of feeling. It's probably like a neutral, all right? So let's tap in. So the first word is curious. Are you curious? Is that true of you? Maybe write down the word and say yes, no, or neutral. The next one is gentle. Do you find yourself you're a gentle person? Yes, no feeling. Playful. Are you a playful person? I can be playful, but I have to allow myself to be playful. Are you playful? Healthy. Are you a healthy person? Do you find that you are always doing those things? And that's absolutely you. Or do you hit a 6-pack of beers and some pizza? What's your thing? Or you're kind of in the middle. Are you balanced? Do you find that you're an extremely balanced person? You've got a nice social life, you've got a bit of the nice little career going, you've got a good family life, you've got this balance of health, and you've got a little bit of wealth, a little bit of health, a little bit of the whole thing coming together. Balanced. Are you funny? Is that who you are? Are you a funny? I am a funny guy. Everyone tells me, I know it internally. It's everywhere around me. I'm funny. Or no, I'm not. I am a wet blanket. No one likes me being funny. Are you witty? Do you find yourself being witty? Like you're always coming out with a one-liner? Or the opposite? Or neutral? Just tap into that. Are you honest? Yeah, I tend to be honest to a fault sometimes. I'm honest in that I feel bad, I've done the wrong thing, That's a counterexample. Or I'm honest because I just don't like dealing with my value of being honest being broken, right? So are you honest? Yeah, I am. I'm a pretty honest person, absolutely. I'm pretty strong there. Steadfast. Are you steadfast? You know, holding your ground. Just tap into that for a moment. Are you scintillating? Are you scintillating? And that's your opinion inside your self-concept. Check in with it. If you're scintillating, I think you're going to know it. And if you're not, I think you're going to know that too. Or you can be neutral, right? Where you don't really have an opinion on it. Are you courageous? Ooh, there's a good one. Do you have courage? Now, courage could come in many forms. Is it courageous to walk up to the girl and ask her out? Or walk up to the person in the networking event, if you're more in my age bracket, and you might do such a thing? Or is that not courageous at all? Maybe you've got to nearly die in a war with a gun in your hand, or save the day, or jump in front of a car and save a child. Is that courageous? Like we all have our categories on what courageous is. Are you thoughtful? Which probably assumes thoughtful of other people. Are you thoughtful? Like, what are you? Are you thoughtful, or you're a selfish so-and-so? I think we've got a bit of both inside of all of us. Are you flirtatious? Where you just like to, hey, that kind of, you just know you're a flirtatious type of human being, or you are just, I'm a stick in the mud. I'm certainly not going to be making any advances towards someone. What are you? And once again, it could be neutral. Are you organized? You're like a super organized person. And I'm kind of halfway there. I'm working on it. And I need to build a bit more of that in my self-concept. But I've gone a long way from not organized, migrating towards being organized. Are you loyal? Do you find yourself a very loyal person? To a fault almost. Where it almost costs you. It doesn't have to go that way, but you're just a very loyal person. You'll stick by your friends and your family through and through. Or would you say the opposite? Or would you say neutral? That's your call either way. How about creative? Are you a creative person? You're painting things, you're knitting things, you're doing a whole lot of, sketching, and maybe you're creative in the arts. Maybe you're creative in, playing music, making music, writing poetry. I don't know. What's your thing? Writing screenplays. Are you creative? Part of who you think you are inside, and it's really strong. Or no, I'm not. I am Mr. or Mrs. Analytical. It's all about the detail. It's got to make logical sense. Not creative at all. Using the other side of the brain. Are you wise? Do you find you have wisdom beyond your years? Where things come out of your mouth and you think, wow, where did that come from? And internally you think, wow, I've got a bit of wisdom in here. Or the opposite, where you feel like you're the babe in the woods and I need help with everything. Or neutral. Either is fine. Are you kind? You find yourself to be a kind person. Really putting kindness as a high value. Just think about that inside your world. Or are you hard as nails and you couldn't give a toss? The next one is loving. Are you loving? You're a loving person. You're giving love from your heart. There's a lot of love in there to give. Or not, because you've had a hard life and no one taught you how. Either way is fine. There's no judgment on these. It's just acknowledge which of these ones are really strong for you, which would be a great template we can use later, and which ones are really weak that you would like to shift, right? That's the whole point. Where were we? Loving, deep. Are you a deep person, where you just really sort of brood on the deep nature of life? Or are you a shallow person? No judgment either way. Impeccable. Are you an impeccable person who has really high standards and you just will not let those standards go? Really excellent point. Or are you kind of just, yeah, whatever, don't care? right? Which is probably most of us in normal parts of life. But that impeccability could be in one area of your life, right? Maybe you're impeccable with what you do for a living, but you're not impeccable perhaps with, you know, something you do on the weekend because you just want to chill out. You're not impeccable about choosing a restaurant because you want to relax. Or you're impeccable with your money, but you're not impeccable with your dress sense. You know, like, it's different for everybody. Are you a very social person? Are you very social? Find yourself really just out there having a great time? Or are you a hermit and you stay at home? Or maybe there's a balancing act. Some people are introverts and extroverts. A little bit like me. I can sort of bunker down, but I can get out there and do a YouTube video and shake hands with everybody in the room, and then I'm happy being by myself for the next day or two. That's just, you know, what happens inside your brain. Considerate. Yeah, that's me. I tend to be overly considerate sometimes. Well, how about you? Are you too considerate or not considerate enough? Where you're kind of in your own world? Tap in with that. Does that feel true to you? Are you centered? Are you grounded? Are you at one? And I find when I get into self-development, I feel very centered because I know I am improving. It gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me this, I'm helping other people. I'm shining a light for others. I'm shining a light for myself. Put the torch in front of me instead of tripping over things, right? All of that.
Whilst my camera had just run out of battery, my apologies, this video will be continued. But for the time being, what you can do is you can write down a list of words in 3 separate vertical columns. Column number 1 is, this is definitely me. Write down the words that were definitely me. Go back, listen to the video again of all the words and write down, yep, that was me. The second column is neutral. I don't really have any reference to that. It means nothing to me. You know, there might have been a word in there that you're kind, you don't sort of think you are kind, you don't think you're not kind, you're just kind of not much there. Whatever the word might be for you, put that in the second column of neutral, no real opinion. And the third column is definitely not me. And that might indicate that there's some resistance where you say kind, no, I'm mean as hell, whatever it might be. So that's the third column. Whatever the thing is for you and it just did not resonate. Maybe if you had the word I'm angry, well, and it didn't resonate, well, I'm definitely not angry, right? But whatever it is, it may be a clue that if you were trying to build a particular quality, anger wouldn't be a good example, that quality you're trying to build, make sure there's no resistance to it. And so what we've done in this video is we've explored who you think you are and the parts that really resonate in your self-concept. That's it for me for now. This is Matthew Tait, Fork in the Road Coaching, Fork in the Road. And always, as always, feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you want to get these videos on a regular basis for free, so you know when I have uploaded. If you want to transform, you want to move yourself forward, stay in touch. Matt Tait, signing out.